Today we're going to talk about a topic called what should one not give, relinquish according to the Kāma Sutta. So the sutta's name is Kāma Sutta, but Kāma Sutta, Kāma means desire.
Okay.
But this sutta talks about something which is not usual in the normal perspective of the Buddhist teachings about the same topic. Okay, let's take a look at the Pali stanzas. One deity asks a question in Pali. Kimatta kamo na tade, king macho na parichaje, kingsu muncheya kalyanang, papi papinchana mochayeti. In English, what should he or she not give who desires the good? So that means when someone, regardless of man, woman, whoever, desire for the good but should not give up. Okay, it looks like there is something that one should not give up. Usually we know that it's always about give up, right? But in here, people like us, everybody, who desire the good, oneself, others, and the whole universe, should not give up. So what is that thing that should not give up? What would a mortal not relinquish? So mortal is someone who is a being who is going to die, like we all beings going to die one day. So what should a mortal not relinquish? So relinquish means voluntarily giving up something. So that means what should a being not relinquish? What should one release when it is good? So release from oneself. What should one release when it is good? But not release when it is bad. So there are 4 questions. Once again, what should he or she not give who desires the good? So we everyone fall into that. What should a being not relinquish? What should one release when it is good, but not release when it is bad? So okay, the Buddha answers, Attanang na dade poso, attanang na parichaje, vachang muncheya kalyanang, papincha, papikancha na mochayeti. A person should not give himself or herself away. She should not relinquish himself or herself. One should release speech that is good speech, but not the speech that is bad. Mm-hmm. So the third one, fourth one is pretty clear, but we will talk more about them after. But what is this? A person should not give himself herself away. Now in the explanations we find it's about one should not be a slave towards the others. So one has to protect oneself. So we have to go to Dhammapada, to take a look at what Buddha meant by this taking care of oneself. Buddha always says one has to take care of oneself to some extent, because there are people who always ignore about oneself, like this. Do not give up your own welfare for the sake of others' welfare, however great. Clearly know your own welfare and be intent on the highest good. That doesn't mean one has to be selfish, but one has to take care of oneself first, right? And then to take care of others. That doesn't mean one has to overly take care of oneself. One should know how to take care of oneself and then to take care of the others who he or she think should be taken care of. But a lot of people, they don't take care of themselves. They're gonna take care. They try taking care of other people all the time. It's gonna be a problem. Buddha says, and Buddha also always says, what other things? Yeah, if one knew oneself to be precious, one would guard oneself with care, self-care. The sage will watch over herself in any part of the night. That means Buddha always talks about, there's a big deal. There are a lot of things about oneself without being too selfish. So spiritual journey is an individual journey, right? But we should not selfishly do it, because there are things that you have to spend time for your things. You have to plan, right? Even the meditation, even other things like you doing Tai Chi, and you participating in other things too. So you have to manage. At the same time, you're gonna look into how you can take care of your close near people, right? Your beloved people, maybe your mom, dad, your spouse. So one has to have a balance about this care between oneself and the other people. One should not overly take care of oneself over the other people, or the other way around. So there should be a balance. That's why Buddha says one should not give oneself away as a slave, to other people. So I'm here just to do things for you, something like that. So one has to always give the precious credit to oneself, like an appreciation. So that's why Buddha says this answer in response to the question, what should he she not give who desires the good? A person should not give oneself away like a slave. So one has to take care, one has to appreciate oneself, and then do things to take care of oneself to a certain, to the right amount of care. The second answer to the question, what should a being not relinquish, voluntarily give up? He, she should not relinquish himself, herself. Now, if you can remember, I talked about perfections in the Buddhist teachings. So in order for someone to become a Buddha or an Arahant or a Pratyeka Buddha, one has to fulfill perfections. So an Arahant has to fulfill 10 perfections. Pratyeka Buddha has to fulfill 20 perfections, and a full Buddha like him has to fulfill 30 perfections. So there are 10 main virtues that they all have to fulfill. So the first one is dana, generosity. So when it comes to dana, there are three. All the virtues have three. In terms of the full Buddha's journey in becoming a Buddha, full Buddha. So the third one of the generosity perfection is to sacrifice your whole life, maybe in terms of the physical body. Buddha says, if you are not a bodhisattva who really want to be a Buddha, who really want to be the full Buddha or Pratyeka Buddha or Arahant, you should never give up your body. That means not attaching to the body, but you should use your body to make good karma, to take care of yourself, and then to help other beings with compassion and kindness and wisdom. But if you are really serious about your path, if you really want to be the full Buddha or Pratyeka Buddha or an Arahant, there may be a necessary requirement for someone to sacrifice the body, but unless if you don't want to be a bodhisattva, you should not. Nobody should just give up the body for other purposes. There are people who do that. We're talking about spiritually, not otherwise. What should one release when it's good? Buddha's answers is one should release speech that's good. Okay, we talked about the right speech, the good speech, I think many times here. Right speech is the speech you make without wrong speeches. The first one is the speech without lying, the speech without talking behind the back, the speech without hurtful words, the speech without using idle chatting or gossiping. So they are the good speech. So that means we have to always release the good speech, right speech, right? But not speech that's bad. So in terms of releasing, things, like you can see the releasing apart, right? So in beings like us, we always need to release the good speech, the speech that is not that is always truthful, that speech that is always appreciative, without being jealous or envious, appreciating other people, the speech which is always pleasant, talk about pleasant things, not putting down other people, bad, criticizing without a purpose, that good speech, pleasant speech, and then talking things that are really in need and in time and good to everybody, talk about things, not just to spend time. So when we can release this 4-4 speech, then that's the best release. If you're not, then that's really bad. So that's the answer. I want to add one thing. Now, the word karma has a bigger meaning in the history of Indian philosophies and religions. Karma is a Sanskrit word, but it's also in Pali. Karma means desire, but if you have read Hinduism, they talk about 4. How do you call them? They call them 4 aims of life of everybody. 4 aims. They call Purusharthas, which is kind of a gender unfriendly word. Purusha means the man. I think it should be like Purusha and history. Whoever. Everybody has these 4 aims according to them. They say karma is one of the 4 goals in Hindu tradition. I'm trying to see what we can take out of this word. It's considered essential and healthy goal of human life. When pursued without sacrificing the other 3 goals, called dharma is virtue, artha is material prosperity, and moksha is a liberation. So they add karma. So if someone only pursue karma, it's a problem in Hinduism. One has to pursue dharma is virtue, practice, spiritual practice. Artha is one has to earn money. And then moksha is liberation, as well as karma, pleasure. So that's what Hinduism says. So that's where the word karma comes up in the mainstream philosophies in India. So that's what Buddha explains by the word karma. So karma has 2 main groups, 2 main definitions actually. Vattu kama, kilesa kama. This is Buddhist. Vattu kama means things we desire to earn in our life. Now, for example, we want to study, get a good job, be with people whom we like, earn things and plan for the future. I mean, materially, and also secular wise. Buddha says it's not bad, because a lay person has to acquire these things in a very righteous, good way, but not, doing bad. But the other definition, other type of karma is kilesa karma. Kilesa karma means the same karmas. The karma means all these gains, right? In the first category, the second category, when someone is overly greedy or greedy about those gains and the stuff. Let's say individuals that they like, things that they like, things that they earn. When they become greedy about those things, and then it becomes a kilesa karma. It becomes a defilement, which is not a good thing. Let's say you own a house, but one day, if you don't want to sell it, but one day you have to die in Buddhist teachings, and then you don't carry your house, right? And you are, if let's say you are married and you are with the beloved people, with your parents maybe at some point, but you know that you are not bringing them when you die, right? So when you don't have this excessive attachment to them, means greed, then you are good. But if you, let's say we all have the Vattu Kāma, but Kilesa Kāma means when your karmas defile, how do you call, desires become greed, become, you know, kind of like become more attached. It's like it's not just a literal attachment, it's the greed. So greed is a problem. So we all need to cut down on the greed, but still you can be with them. You can have things that you like, but when you feel you are getting so much greedy about these things and people, that's not a good sign. So Kāma has that definition. I mean, those two groups, Vattu Kāma, Kilesa Kāma, things we all have. But if we going to be greedy about those karmas, they become Kilesa Kāma, which is not a good thing. That's when we're gonna develop our ego to a really bad level. So anyways, this sutta says what we should not give up if you really desire the good. I mean, that means, as I told you in the previous discussions some months ago, the Buddha talks about two truths, conventional truth and the ultimate truth. Now Buddha says one should take care of oneself in a conventional truth context. Like you can't talk about this body will go away, disappear one day, and I will leave the body and I will go. But conventionally you have a body and you take care of the body, and because you have a body you can understand and you maintain the body, you can be spiritual, you can follow the good teaching, you can meditate, you can take care of it. That's a need. And Buddha says, do not simply make your body a slave, kind of a slave type of thing to other people, because you have to take care of it, appreciate it. And do not just die for unnecessary stuff, because your body is what you got, depending on your karma in the past lives. So protect it, not because you want to attach to it, but because you want to be more spiritual, happier person, so you can share that happiness with other people. You can be compassionate towards other people. You can be kind to other people because you have it. And then the good speech and the bad speech. Any questions?
Yeah. No, it's clear.
It's clear.
I understand.
Okay. But one very important thing that that might be very relevant to all the people, like those Buddhist people as well. They always talk about, the teachings always talk about, we have to give up, like let go things, right? Let go your passive and let go what you have. You may have the physical stuff with you, but let go the greed. But in here, Buddha talks about, no, you don't have to give up this thing in particular. It's so special, actually. Don't give this up. This is the body you got because of your karma, so you use it for spiritual purposes without becoming attached to it in a bad way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's a new thing. Okay, so let's share the good karmas if there are no questions. So may all the good karmas that we've been accumulating in a lot of ways by listening to Dhamma, meditation and all these things be shared by all the departed relatives who passed away in the name of all of us. May they be happy and peaceful. May they attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Idam me ñāti nang hotu sukhita hontu ñātayo. Idam me ñāti nang hotu sukhita hontu ñātayo. Idam me ñāti nang hotu sukhita hontu ñātayo. We also share all the good karmas we've been accumulating so far with the deities, devas who protect and bless all of us. May the deities share all these good karmas and bless and protect all of us for good health, long life, and all the prosperity in our lives. May they be happy and peaceful. May they also attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Ittavata cha ammehi sambatang punya sampadang sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sangpatti siddhya. Ittavata cha ammehi sambatang punya sampadang sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sangpatti siddhya. Ittavata cha ammehi sambatang punya sampadang sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Akasattha cha bummattha devanaga mahindika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkhang tuluka sasanang. Akasattha cha bummattha devanaga mahindika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkhang tudesanang. Akasattha cha bummattha devanaga mahindika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkhang tumang paranti. Finally, let's make a great wish. May all the good karmas we've been accumulating in all these ways help all of us to attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana at the end. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Abhivadana silisse nichang vadha pachayino chattaro dhamma vadhanti ayuvanno sukhang balang ayurarogya sampatti sagga sampatti mevache ato nibbana sampatti iminati samicchetu. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, let's pay respect to the Buddha as a gratitude towards the teachings.